ready for my live in a little bit, and I started thinking about this story, and I thought I'm going to tell people because I tell everything. So I am going to warn you though, if you're a little squeamish about teeth, then scroll on by. But anyway, I have always been very, very like self-conscious about my teeth. So just preface it with that, okay? So anyway, I had this wisdom tooth that had grown in, it's been there for years because I'm very wise and old. But anyway, so it had grown in and it grew in completely sideways, where like, the part that's supposed to be the bottom, like the chew where you chew, it was facing the side. And oh my God, thank God that it was in the back so nobody saw it, right? But I know it's there. So anyway, for years I've tried to get the dentist to pull it out, and they're like, "No, it's a good tooth. It's not unhealthy. Let's leave it." And I'm like, "But it drives me crazy." So anyway, fast forward years. So like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it was, I was down at MD Anderson having surgery because I went down there for cancer treatment, and anyway, so I was down there. Well, they put me to sleep for my surgery, and when I woke up, the one of the doctors said, I broke your tooth in the back, whenever I was putting you out." And I thought, okay, and I kept feeling around. I couldn't really figure out anything. So anyway, so I did eventually figure out that they had like the side of the tooth, which was actually facing down at that point, was chipped. Well, not chipped, but it had like a split in two sides. So like those shims that they'll put in wood, to level them up. Well, anyway, so it was like that. Anyway, um, so it's just bothered me ever since then. My tongue would rub over it. If I ate, I would have to really be careful because I would get food in that part that was broke. I mean, it was gross, okay? So anyway, all along, it's bothered me. Still asking to have it pulled. Nobody wants to do it. So anyway, last night I was laying there and I was scrolling through YouTube like I do every night. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. And that tooth just kept bothering me. So I'm like reaching in my mouth and I could get a hold of that part that had broke off. And so, I could wiggle it. It was just disgusting, okay? I'm just telling this story. So anyway, it it felt like I could pull it out. So I just kept wiggling it and kind of pulling it at a little, just a little bit at a time, like you do whenever you're a kid and you're trying to pull a tooth. So the damn thing came out, but the whole tooth came out. The whole tooth. And the root was just short, and which I knew that the root wasn't big from having x-rays and all that. But y'all, I'm going to add dentist to my long list of crazy stuff that I can now do. Not really. I'm playing with you. But anyway, I'm going to go. I got to get some stuff cleaned up in this room. I've made a mess of it trying to get out some fall clothes for our trip that we're going to take in a month or so. So anyway, I'm going to go. I hope I didn't gross y'all out, and I'll talk to you later.